Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be continuing my mini series. A lot of you guys said you really enjoyed that previous video where I had talked about my favorite high-end and drugstore small palettes. Palettes that are going to be great for travel. They're versatile. They're kind of like a one and done. Things you can really just in a small package get a lot of bang for your buck and get a lot of use out of. So I had some requests to continue this series and bring it on over into the highlighter, blush, and bronzer category. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. I will link that previous video down below so you can check that out too and see what I was talking about and what you might want to get your hands on, because now it's December. I know some of you, maybe a lot of you, are going to be traveling for Christmas. You're not going to want to bring too much makeup, but you want to hit the essentials. You want to make sure that you're bringing things that you can get multi-purpose products, because I know when I travel, I actually bring quite a few of these things, and you know, you want something that is not going to be chunky and cluttery and take up a lot of space, especially if you have to pack for an entire family, because I hear you on that one. So without further ado, let's just get started. So as I had said, we're going to be talking about some drugstore, really affordable items, and then some higher end products that I think, even if you have to pay a little bit more for, are well worth the money. So let's just start off with the first thing I have here. The first product I want to mention is the IT Cosmetics Ombre Bronzer. Now this is not just a bronzer. In fact, I have been using this lately as a bronzer to bronze up my face and then as a highlighter. The highlighter on this is gorgeous. Now you can use just this lightest area here for your highlighter, and then you can use just this matte portion. I realize it's kind of small, but you really can with a smaller brush. In fact, let me show you the one I've been using to get that bronzer out of here is this Real Techniques contour brush. I've been, just because it's really small, just taking that brush and using that for my contour. You can also swirl all of this together and it creates a really pretty, like, bronzy blush type of look. I mean, now keep in mind there's going to be some shimmer, so it turns into like a shimmery bronzed blush. But the point of this video is to show you products that you can get a look out of with just one product. So you can absolutely use this as a blush, you can use it as a highlighter and as a bronzer. I think the product overall is really pretty, especially in the summer, or if it's winter time. I know some of you probably self-tan, maybe some of you don't, but if you do, I think this would be a gorgeous blush on tanner skin, or anybody darker than me, quite frankly. But it's really creamy, it's really, really nice, and you can definitely use it for those three purposes if you want to. So I definitely wanted to mention that. I don't know why I'm stuttering right now. Some days, you know, you just can't quite spit out the words. The next product I have here I absolutely love, and I know you can get it in different shades. So it is the NARS Duo, and it's the Laguna bronzer and then the Oasis blush. I absolutely love this blush. If you can find this exact duo, do it. You can also get this duo in different shades of the blush. I know they have their cult favorite, which is the Orgasm blush, which is kind of like a peachy pink. But I love this. I always bring this when I travel. The Laguna works great as a bronzer, but it's really great as a contour because it's a cooler toned blush. Kind of casts a little bit cooler of an undertone, so it's not so warm. This Oasis blush, I've talked this blush to death here, but I really love it. It's just a beautiful, stunning, rosy berry shade. It has a slight amount of shimmer in it, but it just is a beautiful blush on your face. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. Great for travel. You have a blush, you have your bronzer. This next one is an absolute given. You knew I was going to talk about it, but it's wonderful and it's worth every penny. The IT Cosmetics My Sculpted Face Contour Kit. It comes with two really nice large mirrors, so you can actually use this. It's not like, you know, a circus mirror where you look really fat or you look really skinny. We all would prefer the skinny ones. Anyways, so this is like a matte highlighting powder. This, it's so creamy. This highlighter is no joke. Like, it is a no joke, super amazing, amazing highlighter. Ugh, gotta be careful with it or you would look really, really highlighted really quickly. I use these two shades here. I mix them for my contour. This is what I use to bronze my skin. Of course, this is made for people of all different skin tones, so if you are a lot darker skin tone, you probably would want to use this one. But you can use this as an eyeshadow too. I've used these as blushes, as highlighters, and as contouring and bronzing products. But this darkest one on me, I would prefer to use this either really lightly way back here in the back of my face to create that really deep contour or as an eyeshadow. So definitely would recommend this. I think this is, I mean, I can't give this high enough marks. This is just a fabulous product. Alright, I'm wearing this today, and this is a product that you can use as a highlighter, but you can absolutely wear it as a blush. And I am wearing it today as a blush. This is all I have on for blush. It's the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in Bronze. I love this one. You can buy these in an array and an assortment of colors. I think the bronze is great as a blush. I also own one called Nectar, and that's more pink. You could definitely wear that as a blush too. I would like to get my hands on some more because these products are so creamy. They are luxurious, but they're creamy. Look at that. I mean, come on now. You could wear this as an eyeshadow if you really wanted to. But as far as a blush and highlight in one, this is great for travel. It's so beautiful. Like I said, you can get all different shades, whether you like something more beigey, something more pinky, something more golden. I know there were some limited edition ones out. I'm not sure if they are still out or not. But I love the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks. I always recommend them because I just think that they are just a very finely milled, beautiful highlight. But look at the color you can really get in a blush. All right, let's talk about a drugstore version. This is the Physicians Formula, and let me just turn it here, Shimmer Strip All-in-One Custom Nude Palette for Face and Eyes. This is a cool product. I've been using it a ton as a highlighter. You can just put your brush up here on the top and get what is a really pretty highlight. These ones down here are a lot more golden. So you can dip your brushes in these ones down here and you can really contour out, chisel out the bottom of your cheekbones. Then you can go in with these, turn it into a blush or a highlight. And in fact, all of this is written on the back of the palette here. So you can really see, it gives you a diagram on how to achieve that look. You could also use this just as a blush. You could also use these as eyeshadows if you really wanted to. I mean, this champagne color all over the lid would just be beautiful. It's actually really similar to the cosmetics one, maybe just, oh my goodness, slightly more golden. I've been getting a lot of use out of this, and I actually was given this by my friend Amy, but I found that I really like it. So Amy, I know you've been asking me lately, what have you been wearing? Well, it's the product you gave me, and I find that funny, but yeah, it's just a beautiful product. Let's stick with a couple more other drugstore products here. These Maybelline Master Highlight blushes are a highlighting blush. So if you don't like a blush with shimmer in it, you might want to pass on these. But this particular one is in the shade Nude. So you can use this as a blush or as a highlight. And I like to use it as both. I've used it just as blush, but I think like you could bring it up a little bit higher, and it's just, this nude one is really, really pretty. It is slightly subtle, so you do have to build up the color a little bit. I think the packaging on these is just really beautiful. I love the, sorry, this is falling over. I love the quilted pattern on here. I just think it's so pretty. Now for a drugstore blush, I think these are around $10, so that's the nude one right there. You know, it's going to give you a similar effect as the Bobbi Brown. It's just the quality isn't quite the same. Not that I'm knocking this, I'm not. I'm just saying you're going to have to work with it a little bit more to get more application. But these come in lots of different colors. I have the rose one, which is like a pink one. They also have bronzers in this same idea, and they have a coral one. But I thought this nude one would be the most universal for the most skin types. Now, if you have darker skin, this probably will just strictly be a highlight for you. It is actually really, really pretty. I think this is a great drugstore alternative to the Bobbi Brown Shimmer. Okay, I want to also bring up this Jane bronzer in the shade Inspire. These Jane bronzers come in 4 different shades. This is the lightest one. It's called Inspire. This is a product, you could use this as a blush. It is a very warm bronzer. It's very creamy to the touch. It is, like I said, it comes in 4 different colors. So you could buy one as your contour and one as a blush. I would use that as a blush. Probably not so much in the wintertime, but in the summertime, just instead of going for like a blush look, just a bronzed, glowy, subtly warmed up cheek look, you could use a product like this. So if you're traveling home or you're going somewhere in the Caribbean and you don't want to bring blush and all that stuff, maybe just bring a matte bronzer. And I did fail to mention this is matte. Maybe just bring something like this if you just want a little something on your cheeks, but you don't want to mess around with a lot, but you want to look kind of bronzed. This is an option. You could also use this particular bronzer because it is matte as a transition shade. I know we're not talking about eyes today, but some of these products, I mean, you can really do a lot with one product if you get something that is versatile. So quick shout out to that. Okay, I have a couple more palettes here worth mentioning. The Tarte Off the Cuff palette, this was a limited edition last year, and they did come out with one this year. I'm not sure if it's still in the market yet or not. If you already own it, bring this with you when you're traveling. You have the 4 blushes and the bronzer. Some of these blushes have just a tiny bit of shimmer, nothing crazy. So if you get a blush with a little shimmer, then you got your highlight already, and you don't have to worry about packing a separate one. If you can get your hands on the one this year, I would recommend it. I love Tarte's blushes. Otherwise, stuff like this, where you have blush and bronzer in one, is just perfect for travel. Another one along those lines is the Mallee Duo here. It's called the Mallee Effortless Airbrush, the Pure Light Highlighter, and then I have the Easy Pink Blush. This also comes in a peach blush and a highlighter. These are beautiful. The packaging is so pretty. It's just a simple pink. This is like a metal container, a really nice mirror, and then these have just, look at that highlighter. It's just so stunning. Something like this, you have your highlighter, you have your blush. This is a pink blush. Let me just swatch that for you. It almost leans a little bit more peachy. And then this highlighter is worth the price of this entire thing. I'm not even joking you. And of course I had to swatch it in a funky spot. Do you see that? It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. The blushes are really easy to work with. They apply a really nice amount of color on the cheeks. So things like this are just a great one and done product. I have 2 blushes here that I think can be a blush and a bronzer, and one of them a highlighter in one, like a 3-in-1 and a 2-in-1. The first one is Benefit Dallas. Absolutely you can contour with this. Absolutely you can wear it as a blush. It has like a rosy undertone to the blush, so that's why you can still wear it as a contour, because it's not too warm. It's kind of cool, but do you see the rosiness to it? That's so pretty. That is absolutely beautiful. So contour, bronzer, blush, all in one right here. The Benefit Rockateur, I think, is a 3-in-1 situation here. The packaging makes it 4. It's so cute. It even comes with a brush that makes it 5. So you can use this as a blush brush. You can use it to contour, and I think that's the intention of the product. The product itself, you've seen it before. It's like I know people would say rose gold, but I don't know if I would say it's more peachy gold. This is getting a little crazy on the swatching situation here. But because it has that sheen to it, there's your highlighter. I would use this, or maybe even just not as a bronzer, but to forego the bronzer and just do this. There's enough dimension in this blush that you can get that look of highlight, blush, bronzer because of the dimension built within this product. So I would recommend checking this out as well. Okay, and the last things I have here are actually eyeshadow palettes. But the reason I wanted to show you these was because these you can get a bronzer and a highlighter and even a blush out of if you wanted to. The first one I wanted to show you is the Naked Basics palette. You've seen it. The reason I'm showing you this is because this Venus shade you can use as a highlighter. It is beautiful. As far as a contour goes, use this Faint Shadow. It's a very cool toned matte brown shade. There you go. You got your highlight, and I wouldn't use any of these as a blush, but I'm just saying this is kind of a do-it-all situation. The last thing I have here is my MAC eyeshadow palette, and this is my neutral eyeshadow palette. Something I would grab for, something I would absolutely bring if I were going to be traveling. I would use either Nylon or Shroom as a highlighter. I would contour probably maybe with this cork color or even soft brown as a bronzer. And then as far as the blush goes, I have another MAC palette with like brighter shades in it, but you can multi-purpose use these colors. I mean, they're in an eyeshadow form, yes, but they're still powdered pigmented products that you can truly put anywhere in your face. So if you have a MAC palette with any of those shades, you may not need to pack a highlighter. You may not need to pack a bronzer because, I mean, granted it might be a little hard with the brush, but if you use a brush like this Real Techniques contour brush, which is really nice, you can reach into these eyeshadow pans and still contour. So that would be my recommendation. All right, guys, well, that is going to do it. I hope you found some drugstore and some high-end options here as far as traveling goes this upcoming Christmas season here, and just in general, some things that are kind of like a multi-purpose product, things that you could go out and invest in where you're going to be able to get that blush, that bronzer, and that highlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give this video a thumbs up and share it if you did. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.